Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. We've won the Europa League trophy. The monkey is off our back. The stone is out of our shoe. Spurs are less Spursy than we were 24 hours ago. And that is a scientific fact. You can't argue with science. So what am I going to say? That I'm sorry, I got it wrong. No, I didn't get it wrong, because what cannot speak cannot lie. We're 17th. And I've already seen a couple of comments on social media about get behind him and let's build on this, and we should have built after the Champions League debacle. The reality is that this back to life, back to the job, back to school, back to whatever you want to call it, back to the Premier League, it's not the same as the Europa League. We can't play teams that are all 6, 7, 8, 9 to 1. We have to play teams, and there's a spectrum of teams that we can play. Some will be excellent, and some of them will be less excellent, like the ones beneath us, and Manchester United and West Ham United, teams that are just sort of there or thereabouts near us. But we can't imagine a future whereby Daniel Levy is a leopard, the first leopard in the history of leopards that is able to change its spots. We can dream that, but we can't live in those imaginings. We have to live in the reality. So what do? I hate to be that guy, but we've got to get rid of Fatso, because he doesn't know what he's doing when it comes to it. At the highest level, we're at the highest level, he doesn't know what he's doing. And you know, it's tough. This is tough. This is like your child does something wonderful, but you still kind of have to throw them out the house because they can't live with you forever. Life doesn't work like that. So enjoy the moment. I'm very happy. If you think I'm feigning this, please explain why, and I'd need your professional qualifications for spotting people that act on film or otherwise. I'm delighted, absolutely delighted. But we wake up, we go back to work, we come back to reality, and reality isn't the Europa League, I'm afraid. So a bullet needs to be bitten. If they're going to turn around and say, we're going to give this guy more time, more money, we're going to run with him again, we're going to give him another season, and we're only going to fire him if he goes like he did last season, the season we're currently still in, then sure. But I can't see Daniel Levy doing that. I hope you understand. I mean, we've been doing this learning curve on here about I'm milking an invisible cow. There's an unpleasant thought so early in the day. But we've been doing this thing about holding two distinctly separate thoughts in your head at the same time. And already a couple of you nitwits have come to and said, what do you think of that then? Hey, mate, you look a bit daft. No, it hasn't made me look daft at all, because we're still 17th. You understand what I'm saying? We wake up, back to reality, back to the everyday, and we're still 17th. But yes, it's tremendous. We've got a cup. We've covered that. Well done. And we can have lots of pictures and people drinking stuff out of it. Wonderful. But that's not how Spurs were in the 80s when I was watching them. And it's not how Spurs should be in the 21st century in HD. We deserve better. In the top 10 of the Deloitte Money League. I keep banging on about that because this nonsense about... Because you were the same people that were coming at me with, we can't compete with Chelsea or Manchester City. Yes, we can. You buy well, you buy cleverly, you don't have to buy twice. Or in the respect of our backline, buy 15 times. Because we had a good backline under Pochettino. We threw it away, sold it for some beans and some gold. So there needs to be an understanding, a real understanding, not this piffle that we've had from Levy before. Oh, I'll be stepping back, and we're bringing in so and so, another bloody LinkedIn hire. There needs to be a philosophy which is the antithesis of what this guy from Arsenal said last week, whereby football and business matters with the emphasis on the latter. We need to be primarily a football club. So, for example, that change for Tottenham mob, don't kick them into touch because we won the cup. That hasn't proven that we didn't need them. We need to back anybody with a sane voice. Do you understand what I'm saying? You must understand. Or you're just telling me you're still a little bit, on the gargle from last night and you don't want to understand. And that, again, I'm totally cool with. Good luck with that one. But can we build on this? Yes, we can. Of course we can. But we can't build on it just simply by having Ange wandering around. The quality of the football against Manchester United last night by Spurs was pretty poor. Let's be honest, it was a pretty poor game. Two bald men fighting over a comb, I don't think is unfair comment. And again, balls scuffled over the line. Don't get me wrong, they all count. History books will show that we've won, and history books will show things have changed because we went from not winning to winning. But it's what we do next that's important. And just saying, let's stick with a guy that drove us free fall off the edge of the cliff down into 17th, and I just don't know what else you want me to tell you, because that's a bad thing. Just saying, oh yeah, let's go with him again. Why? Because you think he's going to win the Europa League next season? How many of those do you want? I'll take a dozen. You know, don't. I'm not frightened about winning silverware. I was brought up winning silverware. Before this bald lunatic got in charge, we were a cup side. This sort of thing, the thing you witnessed last night, used to happen quite frequently. So that's where I am. So by all means, leave your silly little nitwit comment about, oh, I bet you feel something this morning. But it doesn't actually reflect reality. So step out of your dream world and the voices in your head and think, what happens at the next season when we meet decent Premier League opposition and we're still scrabbling around because we've got a coach that's staring at the floor and telling us he's got some injuries? That, my friends, simply isn't good enough. We're better than that. We deserve more. We have the resources for more. So let's do it, huh? Good luck for now. Keep it on.